Can't see my chat at the minute. I can see the chat a little bit here. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Give it a while to people come in. I haven't renamed the stream, but we'll get to that in a minute. Actually, I can do that now. So we're on for live stream number 3. Just change the title of that. Sorry to everybody that I've missed. I can't really plan when I'm going to do these things, so when I find I've got a little bit of spare time, I just go live. So I do apologise. I put in the Discord that I was going to go live. I'm just changing the title of the live stream and then we'll get into it. Okay. Let me just have a look at that. Welcome. Moira, I can see you're in. For some reason the chat's not working on that one. Just try and fix that. Oh, I'll have to do that again, okay. What I should have done was I should have done the chat first and then loaded it, but never mind. I can come back to it. Helen, how are you? So we got Moira, Rosen. I hope I spelled that right, said that right. Moira, Helen. Give it a little bit. I'll just send another message in the Discord. I can't because I'm filming with my phone. I could do it off the PC. Tricky Irish name. Did I pronounce it correctly? Or is it like Neve when it's then spelled really not the way it's said? Or is it Naomi? Yeah, something like that. No, Roisin. Oh, there we are then, Roisin. I do apologise. I have to flick back and 2. I'm going to see if I can fix the problem with this chat. Just bear with me 2 seconds. I need to go. That's it. I pop out there. Miss Kelly Lee, welcome. I'm just trying to get the chat on the same page as me. going to have a look at the discovery again. I've got it in a little bit more of a better order this time. Thank you, Kelly. Missy. How are you, Missy? Chat. I can't remember how I done it last time. Right, that is the discovery there. But I need the chat up, which is this one here. Okay. So then I click on that. Properties there. I found it, I think. Here we go. URL. I delete that. How is everybody? We put that in there like that. And then it should work. If I move it up. Order, move to the top. Where is it? There we go. It's working. Right, move that to the top. And then we move that back to there. And then we move this back to there. Got there in the end. I should have done that before we started, really, so I do apologise. Okay. Missy and Moira. Okay, guys. Probably haven't got a lot in because I didn't let people know, so I do apologise. The thing is, I can't plan a live with everything else that I've gone on. I just basically, when I've got time, I'll go live, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. So we'll get into the discovery like before. I've got a little bit of more order. I'm going to minimize that for a minute. Stick the chat up there. Hey KS. So the first page here is, I have, like I say, I've put it in a little bit of better order. So I've been looking through it. Well, I've looked through the discovery. I've looked through this discovery from top to bottom about 8 or 9 times. I more or less know it back to front, but there's all different sections. A lot of it is obviously interviews and transcripts of stuff you've already heard. It's just in black and white. All the Kessinger stuffs, all the interview stuff is basically what you see in the videos is in black and white. So what I'm going to try and do is the stuff that is in the discovery that isn't necessarily in a video, like the interviews. I mean, other YouTubers might have made videos on some of this stuff, but I'm going to try and cover the stuff that is not always out there. It's bound to be out there with people that have done it years ago. Look, I'm not claiming to be groundbreaking or doing anything that people haven't done before, but if you've only just got into it, or you're looking at it through a lens like I have over the last couple of years, and you don't really know everything, then I'm going through it all bit by bit. So I'm relaying it as how I'm going over it. So I'm trying to cover the stuff that isn't like all the police interviews, and then you come to this and look at this, and it's just basically me repeating the police interview. It's pointless. I can do that if you want me to do that, but so what I've tried to do here, let me just check the chat. So what I've tried to do here is this document here. You've got Cassie. So Cassie is Shanann's friend. Now, you've got, recently in my videos, I've been doing all of the co-workers, all of Chris's co-workers, Shanann's friends. That's what my videos have been about recently. So I thought we might as well try and keep it on the same track, and it also ties in with people that aren't in regular videos. So you've got Addie Maloney. Well, Addie has a recorded phone call, but there's also black and white documents here, but her phone call is recorded. You've got Cassie, which is this document in front of me. Now, for the life of me, I can't find Cassie's phone call anywhere. All I can find is people doing read-throughs. So that'll be something to... You're right there. That'll be something to cover. Dog getting excited. That'll be something to cover. So Cassie and Josh, her boyfriend. Cassie and Josh, her boyfriend. Both of their stuff isn't recorded by audio. It's not recorded. So all I can find is people talking about it. So those two, I'm going to go over now. You've got Christina's. Well, Christina's is my next video that I'm going to release tomorrow or the day after. Nicole Atkinson, obviously we all know about Nicole Atkinson. You've also got Chad McNeil, which is Chris's co-worker, another one of Chris's co-workers. Now, I've done Cody. I've done Cody, Luke and Anthony, all Chris's co-workers. I've done videos on those. I haven't done Chad McNeil because there is nothing there, but there is an interview in the Discovery, so I will cover that. So those three that aren't recorded, I'll cover like I'm going to cover now. So let's get into this. I just double check the chat. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs, but unfortunately it's just the way of the world at the minute. I did take them out. They've been for a long walk. So Paddy, have you considered writing to Chris Watts? And what would I say to him? I haven't considered it, no, I'll be honest. I wouldn't have nothing to say to Chris Watts. You are awesome. That's very nice of you, Moira. Thank you. So we got Moira, Kelly, Miss Missy Harris, Moira Vesti, K9 US9CB. That sounds like a serial number, but hello to you. Sebastian, Davey Mays is in. Kelly. 4 o'clock in the morning. Jeez, fair play to you. Okay, so let's get rid of the chat for a minute. So let's go through this then. So Cassie, what I wanted to say as well is I think that Cassie Rosenberg, she deserves a lot of credit as well as Nicole, because she seems to be, from what I've read through this, she seems to be raising the alarm with Nicole at the same time. So they were quite early in being on to Chris. I'm going to make sure we can see all that. You can see all that, yeah. So I'm going to have to refer back to the chat now and again just to make sure you can all see me. I thought this was replay at first. No, it's not. Like I said, I can't really plan a live. I just have to go live and then that's it, you know? I can't really plan it. Right, let's try and get through this. Excuse me for sniffling. Okay, so Cassie Rosenberg, Shanann's friend. I'm not going to read every single word. I'm going to pick out the bits that are obviously that we are wanting to look at. Cassie Rosenberg, friend of Shanann Watts. Cassie Rosenberg told Chris Watts Nicole Atkinson was calling the police on 13th of the 8th, 2018, when they could not contact or locate Shanann Watts. So that was exactly what I was just on about. Cassie was one of the first ones to put it out there. I did have a photo of her to put up, but I don't want to risk this going off now, so... Okay. CBI assisted Frederick Police on the 15th of the 8th. See, with the way this is written, it confuses me because we write our dates a different way round. So Cassie was interviewed, friend of Shanann Watts, by phone on the 8th, 15th of the 8th. Time is there. Cassie has known Shanann for 2 years, met through Thrive, and have instantly clicked. Their relationship has grown into an amazing friendship and they're like sisters. They talk every day. There may be 2 days a week where the two don't immediately exchange good morning texts or some type with one another. It was insane for Cassie to hear that Shanann went missing. She said it's not like Shanann to leave. She's got OCD, she's ritualistic in nature. It was Bella's first day back to school, and that would have been on the 13th of the 8th. And she already had her outfit planned. Shanann was excited and also had an obstetrician's appointment at 9 o'clock. So, I think, from what I read, Karen Epps, I hope I've got that name correct, because I don't know everything, but Karen Epps was one of the friends through Thrive as well, and she was away with Shanann that weekend, or the weekend before, and she was planning to meet with Shanann that Monday, or it might have been the Tuesday that they were starting back to school. So that raised an alarm as well. So it looks like so it says there Bella's first day back to school. So that's how Karen was involved there to begin with. So Cassie described Shanann as distraught over the past weekend in Arizona. Shanann and Chris were having problems and Shanann was not eating. Cassie's known for about 4 weeks that Chris and Shanann were having problems. June. So that would have been start of July, wouldn't it? When officially he would have started seeing... Not started seeing, but that July was when he claimed he was in Nicole Cassinger's house all month. So no wonder people were starting to notice. 4 weeks. Cassie tried to see that Shanann was eating because of her blood sugar going from low from not eating. Cassie is a nurse. So... why would she need to do the Thrive thing? Oh, she must have just been a customer then, was she? I'm not sure. Does anybody know if Cassie was just a customer for Thrive? Because it doesn't say that she was actually involved in it, but I know Kelly, her friend Kelly, was definitely involved in selling it because I've seen the documentation and the photos. And we've just done a video on Kelly Burke, Shanann's friend. That's just been released, so have a look in my playlist for that one. Shanann works from home. Sorry, I've missed a bit. When Shanann did not post after getting home, Cassie knew that it was not like Shanann at all. Cassie said that if Shanann would have gone somewhere with the kids, she would never leave without EpiPens. Cassie and Shanann just would not leave, period. That was a big red flags to everybody, I think. I'm wondering whether he just didn't have enough time with everybody sort of getting involved as quick as they did. I don't think it gave him time to even consider covering his tracks properly. Yes, V-dubs, you're in. Sorry guys if you've missed it. Like I said in the beginning, I can't plan when I go live. I just have to go live, guys. I'm really sorry. So at least you're in though, guys. All the mods are in. Well done. Awesome. Thank you. So just to recap, if you're just coming in now, what I said at the beginning was a lot of this discovery is all the interviews, the police interviews in the discovery. Sorry if I keep looking down. All the police interviews in the discovery are all in the discovery in black and white, basically. So it's hardly much point in me going through the police interviews when we've all seen the videos of the police videos, the police interviews, because I would just be repeating the police interviews. Does that make sense? And we've all seen the videos of the interviews. So basically, what I'm going to try and cover is the stuff like the phone data. Like I said, Addy Maloney's call is recorded, so I'm not going to cover that here. Josh and Cassie's stuff, their interviews are not recorded, or if they are, I can't find them anywhere, so I will cover those. Christina Meacham is my next video. Nicola Atkinson I've still got to do. Chad McNeil, who is a co-worker at Chris's, I can't find his interview anywhere that's been recorded, so I'll go through that on here. And Cody, Luke and Anthony Brown, I've already been through theirs in a video, so if you haven't seen any of those, go and have a look in my playlists. Basically, if it's not readily available on YouTube, and I can't find it on YouTube as a video, I will go over it in the discovery. But it's pointless me just repeating an interview from what we've seen. Unless you want me to do that, then I can. I thought rather than start on page 1 of the discovery and go all the way through 2,000 pages, I might as well structure it a bit. And at least tell you what it's about. So, let's carry on. D-Rod, you've done amazing. Thank you very much. Let me just thank people for coming in here. D-Rod, Desi. Oh, Desi, fair play. Desi's very super busy all the time. But she's made it. Well done. Carolina, Moira, Desi, Marie, V-Dubs, yes. D-Rod, Desi, Carolina, Moira, D-Ra. Candy. Hello, Candy. Tiff probably would be in here as well, but she is super ill at the minute. I did speak to Tiffany. She is sick. So, let's get back into this then, right? Okay, I'm going to shut the chat off for a minute. So, it was insane for Cassie to hear that Shanann was missing. She said this not like Shanann to go missing. Just want to update on that, actually, before I shut the chat off. What I am going to do is I'm going to get another monitor. I'm going to get a big curved monitor for my live streaming. And then I can use this monitor at the side of me so I can have the chat big so I can see it properly. Be a bit easier, I think. Anyway. People are going, shut up, Paddy. Just get on with it, man. Okay. Taz, shush, babe. Shush. Shanann works from home and was able to go to North Carolina to see family, friends, and grow her business. Before Shanann left for North Carolina, she and Chris were having sex 3 times a day. Shanann told Cassie that Chris just could not get enough of her. Within the first week Shanann was in North Carolina, she and Chris were not even talking on the phone much. He was being very strange. He was a very strange individual anyway, if you ask me. Chris flew in the last week. Shanann and the girls were in North Carolina. They got a condo by the beach and they spent time together as a family. Okay. In North Carolina, Shanann had told Cassie and Chris... North Carolina, Shanann had told Cassie and... Sorry about this. Right, move. Right, stop it. Stop. We're going to have a fight in a minute. In North Carolina, Shanann had told Cassie that Chris was cold. He only called her Shanann, which he'd not really done since they'd started dating. He usually only called her pet names like honey or babe. I fucking hate that. Babe. Fucking babe. I shouldn't really swear, really, should I? Chris would not hug Shanann or even hold her hand. Oh, that's mean. He would not tell her he loved her. That's mean as well. Shanann expressed to Cassie that Chris was a totally different person and was not the man she married 8 years ago. Are any of us still the same 8 years on? A little bigger, maybe. A little wiser. Some of us, not all of us. It was Chris that wanted a 3rd child. He is the one that talked Shanann into having a 3rd child. Based upon the information that Cassie gathered from Shanann, Cassie and her husband Josh both believe that Chris had probably been cheating on Shanann. But Cassie did not tell Shanann that she thought that. Well, I mean, I don't know, I suppose it's difficult. Would you tell your friends? If you were a good friend, you should. I told my friend that his partner came on to me. Told him. They stayed together and he didn't speak to me again and he ended up getting divorced in the end, so there you go. Really good friend of mine as well. Well, that's what you get for being honest, I suppose. Anyway. Cassie told me about a situation in North Carolina that resulted in an argument between Shanann and Chris's mother. It involved the mother having nut products and Shanann deciding she would not bring the kids back if they were in danger there. A 3-year-old daughter Celeste, commonly referred to as Cece, with a nut allergy. Chris's parents blocked Shanann on Facebook and they did not attend Cece's birthday party. It's got to be something when you can't put your differences aside for a little baby's birthday. I understand that it's not an ideal world, but when you can't put your differences aside for a child, it's a bit disappointing, really. You agree with me, do you? Are you agreeing? Yeah? Do you agree with me? He's gone quiet now, he's gone shy. What? We gone quiet now? Okay. Paddy, you did the right thing. Yeah, well, I thought so. But there we are. And that was 20 years ago. 20 years ago that was, and I still haven't spoke to him to this day. Or he hasn't spoke to me, rather. So there we are. Live and learn, innit? Okay. Cassie had told me about the situation in North Carolina. I've done that bit, sorry. The last week, Chris and Shanann were in North Carolina. He told her that he didn't want the third baby. He wasn't in love with Shanann, and he did not care about Shanann or the baby. He told Shanann that he thought about the third baby would fix things. I just asked you if you're okay. What do you want? Lay down, please. Lay down. Lay down. What? Paul. Yeah, huffing. Did you hear him huff at me then? Lie down, Taz. Lie down, please. Come on, lie down. I'm busy for a minute. Take you out in a bit. He's been out once, twice today. Before going to Arizona... Sorry. Okay. Cassie said that Chris is a submissive one in the... Right, that's what I am. Sorry about that. Once Shanann had flew home to Colorado, she only texted Cassie because she did not want Chris to know she was discussing their problems with others. Cassie said that Chris is a submissive one, and Shanann had decided not to push Chris on the matter. Well, she should have pushed him on it. That's how things build up, I suppose, and then look what happened. Shanann set up a trip to Aspen for the weekend after. Oh, very posh. The other one's starting, huh? I'm going to mute this for a minute. There must be someone at the door. 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I had to mute that, otherwise you'd do on death. To Aspen for the weekend after Scottsdale so that she and Chris would have some us time. Before going to Arizona, Shanann had an ultrasound that revealed the gender of the baby that Shanann was carrying. Nicole Atkinson knew the gender and planned a gender reveal party. Gender reveal party. Didn't have them when I had my kids. You just told people what you having. It's a boy. Oh, nice one. Come for a pint. And that was it. Shanann just asked Nicole to tell her gender because she felt Chris was going to leave her and she needed to feel happy. Chris and Shanann decided to have their own gender reveal ceremony together, which was recorded and posted on Facebook. Cassie and her husband Josh noticed that Chris smiled but was not excited based upon his expressions, a bit like the pregnancy video. In Arizona, Shanann was broken, scared that Chris was going to leave her. She was afraid he was going to take the kids from her. She was not eating, and it was heartbreaking for Cassie to see Shanann in that way. It would be heartbreaking to see your friend going through that. Cassie talked to Shanann and encouraged her to talk with Chris and to be calm. The texts from him were cold and not caring. Shanann had him on speakerphone. Cassie heard that he did not want to talk to her. Shanann told me that this was not the Chris she knew. He became very different. I mean, it's not nice, is it, when your wife is feeling it at her worst, she's pregnant, got all those emotions going on, and he's blatantly blanking her. So not only did he have an affair, he didn't even have the guts to just say, or call it a day when she was really low. And that's what makes him an absolute piece of work, in my opinion. Other than the obvious strangling and all that other bit. Like, That counts as well. Bless my doggies. Yeah. Be naughty. Daddy is working. Well, if you can't put up with the dogs, then I'm sorry. But I have taken them out for a good run today, so they would be sleeping now normally. But they've decided to have a Royal Rumble right when I've gone live for some reason. He's gone to wind him up. He's got a little teddy, a dog teddy, and he's just sticking it in the face of the other dog. He's just rubbing it in his face like, and then running off. So he's winding him up. Marie, love to join on Discord. It just doesn't work for me. I've tried numerous times. Yeah, Marie, what happened in the beginning was the links that were going out in the beginning, they were expiring. So unless you joined the Discord within that day or within that like 3 hours, that link would then expire. So you have to join it straight away. But now I've done it where if I send the invites out on the best place or the best time to do it is when I release a video in the premiere. Is the link that I put in the premiere for the videos, that link shouldn't expire. I've altered it. Discord says my email doesn't register. That'll be something to do with your own email then. That won't be to do with the Discord. You might have to set up a new Gmail or something. I've got about 8 different emails that I've had over the years, and now I've just got a proper business one and a private one, and I think I've got they're the main two that I use, to be honest. Okay. How many's in the chat? I can't see. Someone type in the chat how many's in. How many's in watching, I mean, not in the chat. I have a Gmail, might need... Yeah, I've got about 5 different Gmails, I think. 25, okay. 24. Oh, I'm going to go with Desi's answer. It's more optimistic. 25, sorry, Dave. Becky, 24. No, I'm going to go with Desi's answer. 25. Right, you're distracting me, you lot, huh? Cassie started texting. Sorry, I missed a bit again. Alright, we've done that bit. Alright, we've done that. Alright, on Monday. On Monday morning, when Cassie had not heard from Shanann, she talked with Nicole. Nicole, being in Colorado, could go look at Shanann's house. So, this is what I was on about earlier on. Cassie was probably the first one to worry about her. So even though like Nicole gets all the credit, I think it's Cassie that should have some credit as well, you know? Anyway. Look at me getting all involved in that. I'm just supposed to read it. Read it, Pad. Just read it. On Monday morning, when Cassie had not heard from Shanann, she talked with Nicole. Nicole, being in Colorado, could go and look at her house. Cassie was on the phone with Nicole while she was doing this, using the camera on her phone for video. Shanann's car was there, in the garage, or the garage, and Shanann was not answering. They grew concerned about Shanann's health. Nicole tried the code for the front door, but there was an internal door latch that prevented entry. The latch was there, as Shanann was worried the kids would open the door. Shanann's shoes were by the door, which was normal. Cassie started texting Chris. She told Chris that Nicole was at the house and they were concerned about Shanann. So straight away, there, Nicole and Cassie are like, Shanann's in there, because obviously they've looked through the window and everything, and like it's just like a normal day, I suppose, to them. They're like, she must be there. Chris told Nicole that he and Shanann were getting separated and told that Shanann was fine. He told Nicole to leave. Cassie and Nicole knew Shanann had an OB appointment, and Nicole went to the office to see if Shanann had made it to her appointment, which she had not. So, fair play to Nicole, like. I mean, how many of your friends, if they knew that you had a doctor's appointment, would go to the doctors to see if you'd been there? Mind you, if you had your suspicions about their spouse, you probably would. But I don't know. Fair play to her, though. This was not like Shanann at all. Cassie and Nicole decided they needed to call the police. Cassie texted Chris to get him to go to the house and told him they were calling the police. He insisted they were getting separated and things were okay. Cassie told Chris, get your ass to the house. Chris told Cassie it sounded like he was driving. Chris told Cassie not to call the police. Yeah, I bet he did. He said that he did not want the police involved. I wouldn't want the police involved either if I just strangled my wife. He told Cassie he was sure Shanann was fine. Cassie warned Chris that if he was not there in 30 minutes, she was calling the police. You go, girl. Cassie insisted that if we found out where Chris's truck went that morning, we would find Shanann and the kids. Cassie said that Shanann would not have left without contacting her and her other friends. Shanann was an open person and would tell someone. That's the other thing. I mean, how the hell did he think he was going to get away with this? I mean, a normal person who, let's say, a normal person who isn't even on their phone, you wouldn't get away with it. But for someone who was like, she was on their phone like every single minute of the day. She had a lot of people that were relying on her business-wise that she was in contact with every day through promotions or whatever you want to call it. Maybe a bit of pressure. Anyway, there was a lot of them that they were in contact with each other on a daily basis. So how the hell did he think he was gonna? Sorry for swearing. How the hell did he think he was gonna get away with that when everybody would have been onto him? And on top of that, she had a doctor's appointment. He's not very bright, is he, old Chrissy boy? Cassie knew of no problems Shanann may have had with other people. Nicole's son was going around the house trying to find an access point to go in and look for Shanann. 20 minutes passed and Cassie finally told Nicole to just call the police, as they were wasting valuable time if Shanann was inside needing help. Well, if she was inside by then, she probably would have been dead anyway. If you'd have had diabetic coma or whatever, something like that, she'd have been dead within 45 minutes. They should have just kicked the door in there and then. Police arrived and it had been 45 minutes. Chris should have already been there, in Cassie's opinion, with him driving from work. Yeah, he should have been already there. Police were about to bust down the door, make an entry to check on Shanann. That's not true. Because in the videos, they're all talking outside the house and he just pulls up in the truck. And the copper says, the policeman says to Nick, he literally says to Nick, I can't break in because I haven't got enough to go on. Even when Chris turns up, he's not allowed to go in the house. He has to ask permission. He has to ask Chris permission. If you notice, Nicole goes barging in, and the policeman has to ask his permission to go in. Even though there's all that suspicion, he still has to ask to go in the house. Because by that point, they didn't have enough to go on. Anyway. You underestimated a tight group of friends. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, V-dubs. Marie. True, she could attend maybe through Zoom and stayed with her parents. Yeah. Carolina. Chris Watts was thinking with his teeny, tiny head. Not his brain. Davey. She disappeared for 3 minutes. V-dubs. Haha, Carolina. Oh, Carolina. Ha ha. Candy. Desi, I agree. Can I move this chat or not? No. I'd have to go back to the other page, would I? Okay, let's keep going. So, Nick was trying to get in the house. That's what we got up to. Police were about to bust the door. We've done that bit. Cassie insisted that Shanann would have never left her phone and would never have left the kids' medication in the cupboard if she left the house. Shanann's purse on the counter did not add up to Cassie either. And that purse is another thing of contention with me, because 1 minute it's not there and then the next minute it's on the kitchen counter. And some people have said to me that Nicole found it in the other room in the office, but I can't find anything to prove that's the truth. But I mean, I don't think Nicole did anything anyway, so it's not that important. So I just thought it was a bit mysterious how 1 minute it was there and then the next minute it wasn't. Okay. Shanann's phone. Nicole's son was going around the house trying to find an access point. 20 minutes passed and Cassie finally told Nicole to just call the police. I've done that bit. Okay, so Chris and Nicole went in to check for Shanann. When Chris Chris and Nicole went in to check for Shanann. Shanann's phone was located. Cassie insisted that Shanann would have never left her phone. Yeah, we know that. And the kids' medication, purse, yeah. It's just, Cassie insisted if we found out where Chris's truck went that morning, we would find Shanann and the kids. Cassie said that Shanann would not have left without contacting her and the friends. That GPS with the truck, the police, I've said this in other videos, the police were already onto his GPS on the truck, on the Survey 319. They were already onto him there before he'd even mentioned it in the interview. I just want to point that out. sort of like a few clips of the Netflix one, and it must only be in America or whatever, because I can't find it over here. If anybody can send me that for me to watch, that would be amazing, because I haven't seen it. Shanann was looking for, sorry, the only is that on? Yeah. The only person in Colorado aware of Shanann and Chris' marriage problems with Nicole. Cassie felt like Shanann would go there if there were problems. I asked about Chris's Facebook account and activity. Cassie said Shanann would post for Chris. He never posted. He deleted his Facebook account while Shanann was in North Carolina. Cassie thought that Chris had probably cheated on Shanann and deleted his account because of that. I've got Facebook and I never use it. I never post anything in it anymore. I never ever use Facebook, but it's still open. Shanann was looking forward to the first day of school. She tried to change her flight to arrive home earlier, but it was going to be $300 more. No chance would I pay that just to come home earlier. Shanann said she was going to be exhausted. She wakes up with Chris every morning at 4 a.m. for her morning routine. She showers, gets ready for the day, picks the girls up and makes the breakfast and makes the bed. That is... well, that correlates to what I've seen from the phone records that she did when they were away and apart from each other. She would ring him. It wasn't 4 a.m, it was like 5 a.m. every single day, and he'd started ignoring her. That's the other thing. How did he make it to work at 5 o'clock every morning if he was on that Thrive crap? If he was taking like 2 patches a day, and it was supposed to like keep you up or whatever, it was like some sort of ninja speed, like everybody's been saying, some sort of stimulant. I'm not saying that, by the way. I'm not saying anything against Thrive. It's just what I've read. Nothing, or no doctor or any reports like that. I've had no reason to believe that that's what it does, so don't sue me. But you know what it's like. You know what people get like, and he lost a lot of weight with it. So anyway, move on before I get sued. You are in the chat with us. What do you mean? Shame my friend didn't go in the house scene as Shannon. Yeah. In the kitchen, yes, Candy. I've seen it, Paddy. It's on Netflix. Okay. We can't get it on Netflix Australia. Okay, I'll have to have a look at the... I've probably gone past it if it's a different name. Storm or something that delayed the flight. Yes, Moira, but she was on about getting an earlier flight, not a later flight. So, but she would have got an earlier flight, but she didn't want to pay the money. B-dubs, is it like speed? Well, it's, I don't know what it is, but it's got to be some sort of stimulant. The way that it was acting on him, because he was losing weight as well, but he was working out. But I don't know. I honestly haven't even had a look at the ingredients. I've had a quick look at the website, but I haven't had a look at the ingredients of what's on the packages. I don't think it makes much of a difference, to be honest, what's in it, because it doesn't matter what you're taking. No stimulants or anything like that would make you go and kill your family. Can't blame it on that. So I don't think that makes it any difference. What's in it? It'd just be interesting to know. I was just wondering because, like, he was up at 5 o'clock every morning. So, or maybe he was taking them to get him through the day because he was up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That would make more sense. I mean, I can't throw shade. I must drink about 15 cups of coffee a day. I've literally got a can of Coke sitting in front of me now. And a big coffee mug from Greg's, a massive one. If I don't have a massive coffee in the morning and a cigarette, not a cigarette, I give up. I haven't smoked for 3 years. So I vape now. Anyway. Right, let's get through to the end of this. Shanann was looking forward to the first day of school. Change of flight, we've done that. Cassie knew the kids' beds were messed up with Nicole. Went inside the house with the police looking for Shanann. Cassie said that was definitely not normal, and Shanann would have made the beds. Concerned with the explanation of Chris about Shanann's whereabouts. Cassie said that Paddy told her that Chris and Shanann left in the middle of the night. He supposedly told Nicole they were at a play day. That's really messed up. And Nicholas caught onto that as well. And Nicole, there's so many Nicks, Nicole and Nicola. He told different people different things. If he'd have just stuck to one thing, mind you, he made mistakes all the way, all over the place. Play date. The problem is as well, Nate's camera saw her coming home, but didn't have her leaving at all. Cassie told me that Chris was never involved in matters such as contacting this kid's school. Only Shanann handled contacting the school. Primrose is a very nice school, and Shanann fought hard to get the kids into it. She would never risk losing their spot by not showing up on the first day. So, not only you've got everything else going on, it's the very first day that they were going there. He decides to do this. I honestly think that she came through that door and bang, he surprised her and that was it. Okay. Cassie checked her messages. Believe Shanann was in North Carolina, blah, blah, blah. Cassie told me Chris did not sound worried. Cassie said that she was cussing him out, trying to get him to go there. Cassie said that Chris later that day called her husband Josh to ask if he looked bad in this situation. So Chris is calling Cassie's partner husband Josh, to see if he looks bad. Of course you look bad. Your family's missing and you haven't given two shits from the start. Josh told him he does and encouraged him to cooperate and give police his cell phone. He asked Josh if she could go to work the next day or now. Josh told him it was up to him, but probably not since his wife and kids are missing. Yeah, you better not go, bud. Doesn't look a bit sus like. He must have been desperate to get to that site. Josh and Cassie decided that there was something wrong and Chris was not the guy that they knew. Well, from what I've read, he was desperate to get back to that work site. He asked Cody Roberts about going back, and he stated here to Josh he was on about going back. He mentioned to the police that he wanted to go back to work. So he obviously wanted to get back to that site to do something with the body. I think, anyway. You guys make your own mind up. I asked if Cassie, if she knew anything about Chris and Shanann considering selling their house. Shanann mentioned that Chris had oil field insights and knew that the wells were going to be drilled around the area of their housing. It would cause the value to drop, and Shanann said that Chris wanted to sell the house before the wells were drilled, but he could just make that up, couldn't he? I'm not saying he did, it might be true. Shanann said that they themselves were not worried about living near oil wells. She loves her home and she doesn't want to leave it. She won't love it, or she wouldn't have loved it once it starts subsiding because of all the drilling. Cassie told Shanann to talk to Chris about it, and she would. And said again how she loves their home. It was a nice house. There was no plan in place to sell the house. Shanann said she planned to talk with the realtor, Ann Meadows, and help them to get into the home that they live in now. Contact information is below. Cassie said that Chrissy was very cold and did not hug her or anything. Chris told Shanann he had not been in love with her for a while and thought another baby would fix it. Why is it that some people think when their relationships, and look, I'm not giving nobody relationship advice here, but common sense would tell you, common sense surely should really tell you, if you're having a barney with the missus and you're having regular barneys, no problem, and you don't really get on anymore, a baby is the last. A baby. What's happened to that? Can you still hear me? Hang on. Right there. A baby is the last thing you want. Can you still hear me? Because my camera's gone off. Put yes in the chat if you can still hear me. Because my battery's just gone on my camera. I forgot to plug it in. Let me hide that for now. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, you can still hear me. Great. Okay. Let me just fiddle around with this. I'm just trying to get my other camera up. How's that? Can you see me again? I can see me, so hopefully you can see me. I'm going to carry on anyway. Yay, can you see me? I'm getting the hang of this live stuff now. Okay. Cassie asked Shanann if they ever mentioned life insurance policies, and Shanann had not. She mentioned that Chris had benefits and great coverages. Cassie said they did not have money rolling in, but Shanann did not speak of any financial problems. Cassie never saw Shanann ordering from a menu based upon price alone. And before San Diego in June, Shanann had hit Taz the 80 grand link at Lavelle. 80 grand, so that must be your sales, was it? Shanann told Cassie that Chris loves the money when she gets paid every Tuesday. Why would he love the money when she got paid every Tuesday? That doesn't make sense to me. Is that supposed to be a joke? Chris changed his mind and was spending more time away from home. Cassie said that Chris was an introvert and Shanann would have had to push him to have to go to dinner or drinks with the guys. Chris was working out and running a lot more. He runs around the neighborhood. He thought he had a gym membership, but he did not wear. No, she thought he had a gym membership, but did not know where. Shanann got him weights and an elliptical trainer for the house. Cassie said that Shanann wore the pants in the family. I think that was pretty obvious to see. So, Cassie said that on the Saturday night, Shanann was clear with her fear that Chris was cheating on her. Cassie talked with a babysitter and Chris was not home from the baseball game. There was a charge alert that came through for a place about 15 minutes from their house. It was for over $60 and it did not sound right to Shanann. After an hour, Shanann got the charge alert. Chris was still not home and the place was 15 minutes away. Cassie and Nicole were also in fear that Chris was cheating on Shanann. Shanann then talked to Chris in the room but did not drill him over it. Maybe she should have had an argument and then gone. I don't know, it's a difficult one. Cassie said that Shanann is not the type of person to be able to hold in her emotions. Cassie said that Shanann did not say there was any mention of her and Chris separating before they left for Arizona and they agreed to counselling. Cassie said that Chris is a great guy, but there are no others to be concerned about regarding Shanann's disappearance. Cassie recalled Chris's voice when he was telling her not to get the police involved. It sounds like he was starting to panic there. And then obviously the friends have got more and more. They've thought about it more and more, haven't they? And then they've put two and two together. It must be wild, though, putting two together and then knowing that the partner's done something or you suspect it. Like, this case is like a once in a like, maybe 10 years, every 10 years you get a case like this. You know, this isn't a regular case, this, where a man wipes out his whole family. Saying that, in the last 10 years, there's been about 3 or 4 people that have done it, hasn't there? Was there life insurance? I think there was. Chris Watts wanted life insurance as they were in serious debt. Yeah, well, I don't think it covers you for murder. Yeah, they would have to go to court for the life insurance. There would have been all sorts of difficulties with life insurance. They don't want to pay you out at the best of times. Never mind when all this sort of stuff's involved. Well done, V-Dubs. What a trooper. V-Dubs flying the flag. There's he. If you are not in the Discord, you could join it now, but try and join it tomorrow when I release a video. I don't recall there being a life insurance policy involved in this crime. Yeah, I don't think he killed them for the life insurance, but there was life insurance, I think, that Frank and I think the Shanann's mum and dad had a life payout. But yeah, I think they went to court for it. There was some money involved. No more female booty. Now he eats canned fish. He eats tuna and noodles now. I love tuna and noodles, but it's a right prison meal. Okay. I can't see my timer. Have we been going for over an hour? 480 grand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a note of where we are. Yeah, an hour and 15. Alright. I'm going to make a note of where we are. Page 5 of Cassie's interview statements, okay? I'm going to write it down. Alright, bear with me 2 seconds. Why is that not? Excuse me. Pesky little crowns are for the first 50 people in the chat. Who what conversate the most? I don't know what that means. So what page are we on here? Oh, I've gone back up there. Page. Let me have a look. We haven't got to that bit yet. So we're up to the bit where the texts are between Cassie and Shanann. So we'll do that maybe tomorrow or the day after. I'm assuming that the sound has been okay, has it? Everything's been okay from start to finish, apart from my camera going off. The purple crown. That sounds rude. Oh, I see, the purple crown. What that means is top fans, isn't it? Here. It's there. Top fans. Let me press it. I don't know. Great sound. That's alright then. VW, yes, the PayPal is there if anybody. I mention the PayPal now because people have told me to mention it, but it's just a way of YouTube not taking a cut if anybody wanted a thing. I don't like promoting it, but I'd rather tell you about YouTube taking a cut. So I'm going to make a note of the page that we're on. And then we'll come back to it. I hope everybody enjoyed that live. And I'll catch you on the next one. Last time, I didn't end the stream properly. And it was stuck on the live for about 6 hours. And it didn't upload. And my live was stuck. Yeah, you can press it on the top, but it jumps out at you. Participation. You can't see it though, I don't think. You can only see it. You can't see it on my chat. Yeah, my chat only does it like... It doesn't do it for you to see, I don't think. It literally just does the chat there. Yeah, thank you everybody for making it. Thank you, mods. Sorry my camera packed in halfway through and I had to switch. But we're learning and we're getting through these things when mistakes are made and problems, technical difficulties happen. I am learning to deal with them. I've managed to sort of deal with the chat. Merch. I do want to tell everybody that we've got merch coming up. I've been looking at the merch. So definitely be the end of the month for the merch. I just need to buy a domain name and then we can get going with that. I've been doing the designs already. I'll put some designs up in the Discord so people can vote on them, what they like. And that's it. So thank you all. Remember, these cases can be stressful and emotional. So most of all, don't have nightmares.